Sally and I had been married for 3+ years. I was at a loss for what to do, but I knew I would find a solution or figure one out. Sally had suddenly taken on a nasty attitude about 6 months ago. There wasn't a gradual change, but I came back from one of my infrequent business trips and felt that the woman in my house was not the woman I married. She was disrespectful, downright insulting, and denying sex unless I started a fight about it. I suspected that either she was cheating or someone was bad-mouthing me to her. I came home from another out-of-state business trip on a spring Friday evening. Sally came down the stairs from the bedroom dressed to kill. A little black cocktail dress, obviously no underwear because the dress was so tight that she had a hard time walking in it. Any underwear would have been visible as panty and bra lines. She also had on 4-inch high heel pumps, and the finishing touch, more makeup than she has worn since I met her. She said angrily, "Oh good, you cheating piece of shit. I am glad you're here before George comes to pick me up. I will not be back here tonight, so don't wait up." I was stunned. What in God's name are you talking about? I have never cheated on you. And just who in the fuck is George? She refused to answer. I angrily added, "If you go out tonight, I won't worry about you not being back in the morning. Once you walk out that door without me, you will never come back in this house." I was beyond angry, even though I was still confused. I continued, "Oh, would you be so kind as to inform me who told you I was cheating on you, and when and where it was supposed to have happened?" "I don't have to tell your cheating ass anything. I was told by George you cheated, and he even has pictures. I will show you." She went to her purse and grabbed some pictures. I looked at the pictures and almost laughed. "You stupid, look at these pictures. That is my head on a 5'8". He also has a tattoo on his left arm." "Look, you stupid bitch. Am I 5'9"? Am I tattooed? Is that the hairstyle that I have worn for 18 months? Who gave you the pictures and introduced you to this woman in this picture?" Sally had a look of confusion, but after a moment took a determined stance. "George told me that you met Grace and fucked her, and these pictures prove it." With that, the doorbell rang. I pushed around Sally and answered the door. "You weren't supposed to be back until tomorrow," said a very surprised man in a sport coat and slacks. He looked confused and almost frightened. He stood about 5'9" to my 6'3". He was also reaching for something in his pocket with his left hand, and his shirt and jacket exposed enough of his wrist to show part of a tattoo. I grabbed his arm and slid the sleeve of his coat and shirt up. "Look, you stupid bitch, isn't this the tattoo that is in those pictures?" As I asked the question, a knife fell out of his pocket. Sally seemed to ignore me. Then she moved past me and said, "Let's get going, George. This asshole is going to learn the consequences of cheating." They started down the walk. "Stop," I shouted, and they did, and then turned back to me. The neighbors came out on their porch. "Sally, I will leave your clothes in the garage. I warned you that if you left, you wouldn't be able to come back. You made your decision. Just remember, I showed you that the pictures were fake, but you chose to ignore me. When you find out the truth, do not come crying to me because you have just destroyed my love." Then I looked at George. "Oh yes, George, if you think you got away with fucking the slut on your arm without consequences, remember payback is a stone bitch. It may not come today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will come. You two have fucked with the wrong person." They laughed nervously, and Sally gave me the one-finger salute as they walked toward a car parked at the curb. What a wonderful fucking homecoming. My name is Grant Gorman. When the Friday surprise occurred, I was 34 years old. I was and am a systems troubleshooter and senior installer for a small but significant security software company. I am also a part owner because of bonuses and stock options. Sally did not know about the ownership, or that I plowed back most of my bonuses to purchase more stock. I owned almost 15% of the voting stock. That was the most for a single shareholder except the company founder. The only people who knew my position were my lawyer, who voted my proxies, the founder, and the government. The IRS knows everything. I met Sally when I literally ran into her. I was 26 and just out of a failed engagement when my fiancé decided that cheating before the wedding was not cheating. She learned differently when I called her father and told him why the wedding was off. It was fortunate that we had only just started the planning, so her parents were not out a lot of money. I was going into the airport when Sally dropped a piece of luggage and had bent over to pick it up when a distracted klutz named Grant crashed into her. I apologized and helped her get to the security line. After we both got through security, we headed in the same direction. As we now only had our carry-on bags, I offered to take hers to as far as I was going. When I told her what gate, she started laughing. She said, "Don't tell me you're going to Dallas on the 9:30 flight." "I am too. By the way, I am Sally Henderson." "I know you didn't disrupt me on purpose, so if you would, when we get to Dallas, would you stick around me until my sister shows up? There is an angry old boyfriend that works at the Dallas airport, and if he sees me, he is liable to try to hurt me." She continued, "I know it is a lot to ask, but my sister is having a baby and her husband is deployed overseas, and I am needed to help her. I'm just afraid that Tommy will see me. My sister tells me that he has flown into our home airport and tried to find me. I know it sounds strange, but you have been so nice to me that I thought I could trust you." I agreed to stick with her as I had nowhere I had to be until the next morning. I also hated abusive assholes. When we boarded, she was in the seat across the aisle from me. I always took an aisle seat because of the restricted legroom on the tin cans that the airlines use today. We talked the entire flight. As we started deplaning and walking down the ramp, a man in an airline ground crew uniform came toward us. I put my arm around Sally and stared at the guy. When he saw my move, he slowed, and as we got closer, he saw how big I was and turned and beat a quick retreat. I gave Sally my cell phone number and told her to call me if she felt the old boyfriend was going to be a problem. It turned out that when I was ready to head back home, Sally was staying to continue to help her sister. Her brother-in-law's brother and a couple of his friends decided to visit the ex. It worked. A week later, Sally called and thanked me for the help I gave her, and she mentioned the ex-boyfriend requested and received a transfer to the West Coast. When Sally returned a few months later, she called and asked me to join her for lunch. We met for lunch, and things seemed to click between us. I found out she was 22 and had been in only one long-term relationship, and he was now in San Diego driving a luggage truck at the airport. We went to dinner later that week, and that started a year of dating. That led to me asking her to marry me. She said yes. The planning started. Then Murphy decided that a cheating fiancé wasn't a joke enough, and I got testicular cancer. The surgery and chemo were terrible, but Sally was there through it all. She kept saying that it just delayed the plans, not ruined them. The cancer was caught early, but I lost a testicle and was rendered sterile. I was and am not impotent, just sterile. After a year of being cancer-free, we started planning again. Murphy decided to leave me alone. Another small delay was convincing Sally that I was serious about not cheating, to the point that I demanded a prenup with severe penalties for adultery. I had to explain to Sally that it was a deal-breaker and no signature, no wedding. She signed finally after a 2-week deep freeze. The wedding was great and the honeymoon was in Belize. We swam, snorkeled, and had many adult beverages. I discovered that I liked alcohol too much, so when the holiday was over, I quit drinking. I never stopped anyone around me from imbibing, I just didn't. A little over 2 years after the wedding, Sally told me her company was merging with another, and they were integrating the 2 staff. She made a few comments about some specific people, but not anyone noteworthy. One thing that did happen was when the merger actually started, her attitude went into the toilet. She started to make little nasty, snide comments. She also started to question every move I made on the out-of-town trips. She was also turning down lunch dates when I was working at the office and in town. The worst was the direct insults. That was what I was putting up with before the Friday night date. After she left, I called a friend, Jack Harvey, who was a locksmith, and had him change all of the locks and install a new code in the garage door opener. He charged me as if he didn't know me from Adam and said it was because Sally told him about my cheating. He didn't change the bill but understood that I was being wrongly accused when I showed him the crappy photoshopped pictures. I was pissed that she had tried to do that. That meant that I was now going to burn her and him down to the ground. I would enforce the prenup. The divorce lawyer was going to go on my speed dial Monday. My boss had gone through a messy divorce, and only a shark of a lawyer saved him from a vindictive ex-wife and her lover. I would use his recommendation for an attorney. I also decided to fuck with her mind. I called her boss, who was also a friend and customer. Terry Smitter told me that the blending of the two companies went well except for two of the newcomers. George Daniels and Grace Ritter were not happy that they were not given management positions and were making trouble for a couple of the old-timers. He added that they were both facing termination as they had several disciplinary problems. I told him I was going to make his day. I explained what happened tonight and about the photoshopped pictures. He asked me to send them to him and gave me his company email address. I scanned and sent it, and he called me back. It was his troublemakers, and the head in the picture came from the wedding picture off of Sally's desk. He said that if I wanted, he would fire both of the troublemakers. I said yes, but if they went, Sally needed to go too. I told him what she said tonight. I even told him about showing her the tattoo on George's arm from the screwed-up picture. I garbage bagged all of Sally's stuff that I could find and put it inside the garage door. I locked up, unplugged the house phones, and went to bed. Saturday morning, I woke at my usual 6:30, and there was no noise. I checked my cell phone, and there were 7 messages, all from Sally. I didn't delete them, but I didn't listen to them right away. I was just finishing my breakfast when the house phone rang as soon as I plugged it back in. I answered, and it was Sally's mother. Edna was and is a loving, caring person who I had almost adopted as a second mother. She was crying. I told her to calm down and tell me what was wrong. It took a couple of minutes, but when she was finally coherent, she said Sally told her about last night. She went on to explain. Sally told me she went out and had sex to pay you back for your cheating. Then, when she had let the man fuck her, he laughed and called her a dumb slut and showed her the original pictures. Sally was devastated and cried on the phone to me that she had ruined her marriage. She continued. She said she tried to call you and left at least half a dozen messages. She also said the asshole left her in a town 20 miles away and told her to find her own way home. Is all this true? I replied. I am sorry, but the fact she cheated is true. She told me it was because she had pictures that showed me messing with a woman. The picture was a terrible photoshopped mess. I showed her that the guy could not be taller than 5'9" and had a tattoo on his left arm. She wouldn't listen, and as she walked to his car, she flipped me the bird. She did indeed destroy our marriage. I am going to a lawyer on Monday and will not take her back. She has obviously been listening to people at her work and has treated me like crap for the last 6 months or more. I continued as Edna started sniffling. I have changed all of the locks, and she will not be allowed back in this house. I will also enforce the prenup, which means she will have no claim on the house, alimony, my pensions, or IRAs. I'm sorry if this hurts you and David, but this is the second time I've had a woman cheat on me, and I told Sally I would not allow that to go unpunished. I have never cheated on her. When you talk to her again, tell her that her stuff is in the garage, but she will need to come when I am here, as I have changed the codes. She also will not be able to get in the house. I have changed the locks. I was winding down but got one last shot across her bow. Sally has also been telling people that I cheated on her. It almost cost me one good friend, and if it affects any more of my friendships or my work, my revenge is not nearly done. Edna said she would let Sally know what was going on and ended the call. I decided to listen to Sally's messages. They were all filled with crying, I'm sorry, and begging me to forgive her. The last one was a surprise. George told me after he fucked me that I could find my own way home, and then he added, if you have a home. I don't even know how I would get back. I don't even know where I am. That last call came in about 4:30 in the morning. I felt I couldn't leave her out there somewhere. I called her back. She answered and started crying. Sally, stop crying. You need to give me any information you have. You screwed up our marriage beyond fixing, but I will come and get you and take you to your mother's. She gave me the motel name and the cross streets, and I was able to Google the city and directions. I found her outside what looked like a rent-a-room by the hour dive in a bad part of town. She started to say something, but I held up my hand to stop her. I am here because you were once my reason for living. You destroyed that over the last 6 months or so and bombed out what was left with your actions and words last night. I want you to get in, buckle up, shut up, and leave when I take you to your mother's. Do you understand? Don't say anything, just nod if you do. If you say you're sorry one time, I will pull over and put you out of the car. I am furious with you, and it is not just that you broke your vows. You have treated me like I was dog crap on your shoe for more than 6 months. We are done. It's too late to be sorry. She got in and silently cried all the way to her mother's. As she got out, I took her hand. I am going to a lawyer Monday. I am filing under adultery. If you don't fight it, I will give you 1 year of alimony. If you fight it, I will strictly enforce the prenup. Goodbye. Remember, I loved you and you threw it all away without even thinking about it. I even showed you that I was not the person in that picture, and all you did was flip me the bird and get in the asshole's car. Then you fucked him and were surprised when he told you the same thing about the picture. I really hope you get some therapy. You have allowed others to cause you to make very bad decisions. I don't hate you, but I don't love you either. After the divorce, if I never hear your name or see you, I won't miss you. One last thing, you had better tell all the people you told that I was cheating the truth. I have already had one friend tell me he lost me as a friend because of what you told him. When I showed him the stupid picture, he laughed and told me he was sorry he listened to you. I closed the car door and drove away. I filed that Monday and Sally was served on Wednesday at her mother's house. The 3 conspirators were fired, and George somehow managed to trip and fall and break both arms and his nose. Grace was married, and when the reason she was fired and the picture showed up at her house, she was sued for divorce also. Someone, probably her lawyer, told Sally to fight the divorce. I withdrew the alimony offer and went for strict enforcement of the prenup. They requested marriage counseling. I told the judge that I was not the one that needed counseling. I asked why would I agree to that when I was subjected to the abuse and cheating. She agreed and told Sally that any counseling that needed to occur was just for her. She said that if she could, she would order her into that counseling. She also awarded me the house, both cars, and all of the monies we had accumulated during our marriage. Sally discovered that we were very well off and that she screwed herself out of a comfortable life. Sally never came to the house for her stuff, and I finally gave it to the local women's shelter. The divorce was final, and I did not hear from Sally again until after more than 2 years her mother called. Edna called and told me Sally was in a hospice with inoperable brain cancer. She was still lucid, but wouldn't be for long. She probably only had 3 or 4 weeks left. Edna also said that Sally needed to talk to me one last time. I went to the facility and saw Sally. She was just a shadow of the beautiful woman she had been. She did smile when she saw me. I took her hand and sat down next to her bed. She sniffled and said, "Grant, I have never stopped loving you. I am so sorry for what I did to you. I know, and looking back, I think I knew even then that you would never have cheated on me. I was blinded by the bullshit and flattery. I know it doesn't change anything, but I will die regretting every hurt I inflicted on you. Go now and find a good woman and love her as you loved me before I destroyed it." With that, she closed her eyes and went to sleep. I stood, leaned over, and gave her a gentle kiss. She seemed to have a small smile on her face as I wiped the tears from my eyes and left. She died 3 weeks later, and I was given a large insurance policy payout that I didn't even know she had bought. The money went to the local women's shelter. I did not need it, and I met Sally when she was trying to escape an abuser. It just felt like the right thing to do. I have moved on. Our company was bought out, and Terry and I, as the biggest shareholders, got very rich. I moved to Belize and am a beach bum with a couple of local widows who like to entertain me. In my condo, on the wall over the couch, is a picture of Sally and me from our wedding day. Ironically, it is a blown-up version of the picture Sally always had on her desk. I found that after my anger was over, while I could not forgive her, I still loved and missed her. Every year on our anniversary, I fly back and put flowers on her grave. It is getting less painful, but it still hurts. And that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Your support helps the algorithm push my content further. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep creating more stories for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.